Hello, Vitality Tunes family. എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് വീണ്ടും നമ്മുടെ ബ്രിഗേഡിയർ ഡോണിന്റെ വീട്ടിലെത്തിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രാവശ്യം ഡോൺ നമുക്ക് നല്ല മനോഹരമായിട്ട് കാൻഡിൽ ഡെക്കറേഷൻ കാണിച്ചു തന്നു. അന്നേ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു ഒരുപാട് ആർട്ട് വർക്കുകൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന ആളാണ് ഡോണ്. ഭയങ്കര ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഡിസൈനിങ്ങിന്റെ രാജകുമാരി എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് വിളിക്കാം. അപ്പോൾ ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ ഡോൺ നമുക്ക് കാണിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് ഇവിടെ കുറേ എഗ്സിൻ്റെ കളക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ വർക്കൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് പിന്നീട് കാണിച്ചു തരും. ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ പുള്ളിയുടെ കളക്ഷൻസിലുള്ള കുറേ എഗ്സിനെ കുറിച്ച് നമുക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു തരുന്നുണ്ട്. പല പക്ഷികളുടെ പല ഷേപ്പിലുള്ള എഗ്സ് ആണ്.
Namaste.
Namaste.
So my collection of eggs here, I've collected over the years and have been decorating eggs now for 30 years. It started many years ago with the Tsar of Russia, who asked a jeweler to design a special gift for his Tsarina, his queen. And the jeweler made the first Fabrege egg. So you well may have heard of Fabergé. Fabergé used real jewels and used enamelling. We in the UK use real eggs. So this collection is just a small collection of what I've got currently today here in Spain. So starting with the biggest egg that I have.
Not really small collection. She has.
So the first egg is an ostrich egg. This is the biggest egg, and it's blown by cutting the end, and I have a special machine that takes away the yolk and the egg white. Then we clean the inside, sanitize it, disinfectant, shake it and clean it so it's ready now for decoration. So that's the biggest egg. This is the ostrich egg. Next is this egg, which is a rhea egg, R-H-E-A, a rhea, which is like a small ostrich. Beautiful to work with. And again, take out the yolk and the white from the centre with a special device that I have. Next to that is the beautiful emu egg. My favourite egg of all. This colour is natural to the shell, and it is actually very dark green. It isn't black, it's a very dark green, but it's beautiful to work with. Quite expensive to purchase these, so usually I make these into clocks or heirlooms if I'm commissioned, and put special semi-precious jewels onto these because they are such a special egg.
The black color നല്ല ഡാർക്ക് ഗ്രീൻ ആണ്. നമുക്ക് കാണുമ്പോൾ ബ്ലാക്ക് എന്ന് തോന്നും, പക്ഷെ അത് നല്ല ഗ്രീൻ ആണ്.
Next we have the common goose egg. So this is a goose egg. So you can see already we're going down in size now from the rhea to the goose. Goose eggs in the UK are very easy to find, but it's said that legend says that the goose only starts to lay her eggs on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day in the UK. So we give a gift of an egg to show our love to somebody on the 14th of February, because that's when the goose starts to lay. Mm-hmm. From the goose egg, we have the good old chicken egg that we eat. We can eat all of the yolks from these eggs. Ooh. I choose not to, but one chicken egg is the equivalent, 12 of those makes one of those inside. So you would have 12 chicken eggs for one ostrich egg. You can make a fantastic cake from the ostrich egg, but it is very rich, very strong in taste. So I don't eat these, but chicken eggs, yes, you can. And also the goose egg, that's quite strong. So one goose egg is the equivalent to 3 chicken eggs. Next we have the duck egg. The duck egg is similar to the chicken, but you can tell the difference because the size is slightly smaller and the ends on a duck egg are round, whereas on a chicken it's rather pointed. So you can see the difference, although it's very similar in size. And again, you can eat duck eggs, but they are quite rich even though they're smaller than the chicken egg. Next we have a turkey egg. Turkey in the UK always for Christmas. So this is the difference now between the turkey and the chicken is much smaller, and again the end is more pointed. And this has a very pale green-grey colour. Next we have a quail egg. Quail's very tiny eggs. You can eat these. These are in the UK. If you go to a nice restaurant, they usually make these in and put them on top of smoked salmon and poach these eggs. But you put that in boiling water, probably 2 minutes maximum, and it's solid in the middle because the yolk is so tiny. When I decorate the quail eggs, I wet the shell and I use sandpaper and I take off all of the stain to get the white egg. So this is the same egg. This is before, and after I've worked on this and taken away all of the stain, this is after, so I can have a pure white tiny little egg. And I would turn this maybe into a little necklace or a little charm in some way, or maybe just open it, put something inside and stand it onto a little gold stand. Very nice to give to a child for a christening. So you can see, going from the beginning to the end again, we have the quail eggs against the ostrich egg. It's a big difference. Big difference. The shell on an ostrich egg is very much like a ceramic, you can hear. But they do break, obviously, because they are eggs. But the shell on quail, very delicate. The same with chicken, very delicate. I don't like to use chicken eggs to decorate because they are so fine. I think because they've been overbred over the generations and over the years, it weakens the shell. And if you feed your chickens corn, you get a much better quality shell and a much nicer egg yolk to eat. It becomes very orange rather than a yellow yolk, and it makes the shell much stronger. But in London, the shell isn't that good to work with the chicken egg. So I have a little few pieces here, which you can see where I've started. Once I've drawn my design, I decide what shape. This is a goose egg. That shape I like for a casket, which means when it's open, it goes this way. And I'll draw the design on. I have a little machine that works out the working for me, works out the measurements. And then I'll draw the design and then I start to drill. I have an air drill which opens up the shell, but it's very delicate work. So you have to hold it and then drill the shape. It falls inside, you turn around and drill all of the different areas that you need to remove the shell from, and then it opens by putting a little tiny hinge just in the back. It takes time for measurements. This is something that I'm working on at the moment with the ostrich egg. Once I have my circles, which I've worked out by making a horizontal and a vertical cross with a tape measure, I then put a compass in the centre and with a pencil turn it around. From that way, that's a perfect circle, but from that way, because it's a concave surface, it droops down. But when it's cut out, it looks like a total hole going right the way through. And then this side, I've then started to measure with tape measure down the vertical line, 0.5 centimetres, and then this way, and then I will drill out every other hole. So this one will be quite some work. Will probably take about 3 months in total to work this one, but then this will look like a piece of lace when it's finished.
കഴിഞ്ഞ സമ്മറിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഇങ്ങനെ കുറേ വലിയ എഗ്സ് കൂട്ടി വെച്ചിട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞ സമ്മറിൽ എലിയൊക്കെ വന്ന് കൂട് വെച്ചെന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അതിനകത്ത് വന്ന് നോക്കുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് ചെയ്യാറുള്ളൂ. ഇങ്ങനെ ചില മൂഡ് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. ചില സമയങ്ങളിൽ ഇത് ചെയ്യാൻ തോന്നുമ്പോൾ അത് ചെയ്യും, അല്ലാത്ത സമയം വേറെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യും. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ കഴിഞ്ഞ സമ്മറിൽ വന്ന് നോക്കിയപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഇതിനകത്തൊക്കെ കുഞ്ഞ് എലികളൊക്കെ കിടപ്പുണ്ടെന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്.
So this one is a goose egg. Again, it was measured and I put an oval to keep in the same shape as the outside of the egg and drilled from front to back. And I don't know what I'll do with this one. Maybe I'll put a little ornament in there. I will paint it. Maybe I'll put some fresh flowers or maybe just some false flowers, some artificial flowers. Put it on a stand and then paint it whichever colour I think looks best. So that one is quite delicate to work because the shell, as I said, is very delicate on the chicken egg as opposed to the ostrich egg. So these are designs that I've had already measured and put permanent marker on. This is a musical egg when it's finished. So you can see that I've already marked the treble cleft and the cleft, and I will then drill out all of the gaps between the eggs. The beauty of this is that you need patience. Before anything else, you have to have patience to do this. I think in 30 years, I've made one egg with very delicate work, and then I've glued it to the stand, and then I picked it up like this and it shattered. And it was 3 months worth of work gone. And all I could do was sweep up the pieces and say, oh well, let's start again. You have to have patience. So this one here is called a spiralized egg. So again, it's a goose egg, and I would measure horizontally and then measure every single line to make a spiral. Then I will drill out in between each one so that there's just a spiral of shell left once it's finished. Once that's done, you have to be so careful because there isn't an awful lot of shell left, but it looks beautiful. There is a saying, whether it works or not, I don't like to try, but if you take a plain egg, you cannot crush an egg that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't crush that way, but if you do it that side, it will. So if ever you're holding an egg, always keep it upright because it's strong and sturdy this way. The minute it lays down, it loses its strength and you will smash your eggs. That's why when you have eggs, if you buy eggs from the shop, you will see the carton is always upright. You will never buy eggs in a shop that are produced this way because they will crush. And that's why all eggs stand upright in the shop so that they can stack one on top of the other. So although they are very delicate, actually they're quite strong this way up only. A bit like humans maybe sometimes. We're very delicate, but when we want to be, we can be strong and stand tall.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.